Hey guys, what's up? All right, welcome back. So, this for you today is for a lot of women who think you're doing everything right and you're super confused on why, as a woman over the age of 45, you just cannot lose weight. You're like, I'm eating healthy. I don't know what's going on. So, today we're going to go over 5 healthy habits that are making your weight loss harder as a woman over 45, or with the experiencing the hormonal fluctuations of perimenopause and then menopause. Now, before we get started, I did put together a free guide for you guys for what to do. The top 3 things I do with every single client I work with, I start them with 3 simple things that you should do if you're trying to lose weight as a woman over the age of 45. Comment below guide, and I'll be happy to send that to you. But now we're going to talk about the 5 healthy things that you should not be doing if you want to lose weight as a woman over 45. And there's a high likelihood that you're doing them because I speak to women every single day. I work with clients every single day. And so I know what you guys are doing, and you can't hide from me. So I know what you're doing. But what I would like you to do is, if you see yourself in any of these, just comment below, because I'd like to know which one you thought that you're doing, that you thought was working and it's not working. So we're going to start off strong. This is a common one. Here is something a lot of women are doing that is healthy technically, but it's not geared for fat loss. And this could be slowing down your fat loss and making it a lot harder. Fruit smoothies. So fruit, I don't think anybody can, well, some people will argue it, but listen, fruit is healthy. Fruit has got vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber. It's a high water content. Fruit is a healthy food. But when you are having a fruit smoothie for breakfast, let's say, and you're not losing weight, you can't understand. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm having fruit. Like, I don't get it. Here's why that is not a healthy food at this age. When you have a smoothie with just fruit and you kind of broken it down in the blender, you can easily pound back 3, 5, 7, 10 fruits in that one sitting, right? And even though it's healthy from a vitamin and mineral perspective, when we're dealing with fat loss as a woman at this age, that is sugar with a bit of fiber, of course, but not enough to buffer out for your blood sugar, because we are much more sensitive to blood sugar swings at this age. So what that's doing is that is jacking up your blood sugar real quick, which is going to have an insulin response to try to get that sugar into your cells to be used as energy. But we're more sensitive to, or less sensitive to insulin at this age. So the more of an insulin response we're having, we're promoting fat storage when we're meaning to burn fat. So here's how you would change that. Instead of having just a fruit smoothie, which again is healthy, like fruit's good for you, you want to put in some healthy fats. So whether that's a bit of avocado, a little bit of cold pressed olive oil, something like that, a couple of nuts, and you want to put in some protein for sure. So try to aim for about 30 grams of protein, and that is going to allow you to still have the nutrients from the fruits, but it's going to slow down the absorption of it. So fruit smoothies, healthy, but without the right healthy fats and protein to slow down the absorption, it's a sugar bomb for you. Second one, too much cardio. And I see this with women a lot because your weight's not budging, right? And you're getting frustrated. So you were like, I just need to exercise more. And so that's what we used to revert to when we were younger. When we were younger, we would do a simple calorie deficit model. We would do, I must burn off more than I take in. Feel the burn, right? Like that started in the 80s. And I'm sure everybody here, we were all living through the 80s because we are of that age. Feel the burn, and it just kind of stuck. So you are not losing weight, it's not budging. So you're like, I must do more cardio. Here's the issue with too much cardio. Our bodies, because of the fluctuation of our hormones, the fluctuating and decrease in estrogen and progesterone, the corresponding increase in cortisol, the stress hormone, our bodies are more sensitive, to stress. When we're doing extreme cardio, our body views that as a stressor. So not only will it put weight on to kind of try to protect you, but the problem is that cardio alone is going to break down muscle. It's going to break down muscle tissue, and the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolic rate. So it's going to break down the thing that's protecting you, and it's going to increase your appetite like freaking crazy. So too much cardio is a bad thing. What I would recommend instead is walk. It's less stressful on the body, and if you want the magic pill, you would want to strength train and walk. And if you don't want to go inside a gym, because I know a lot of women you don't like it, you're intimidated, or whatever the case may be, it's not the end of the world. Walk instead of cardio. The cardio is working against you at this age. It's stressful to our body at this age, and it's going to make you really hungry. It's silly. You can save yourself the stress. Third healthy habit that is holding you back from weight loss as a woman over 45, intermittent fasting. This is one I see a lot with women. And the reason is because there is studies showing that intermittent fasting has a lot of great benefits. True. But for fat loss for women in perimenopause and menopause, this is not the answer. A lot of these studies are done on men, and men and women are very biologically different, especially perimenopausal and menopausal women. So for us at this age, intermittent fasting is working against you. So there's no reason to be suffering through this, and even more if you have coffee and intermittent fasting. That's even worse. But the reason is because when we wake up in the morning, our cortisol stress hormone is highest, and it should be. That's what wakes everybody up in the morning. It should be higher. However, because of these hormonal fluctuations we're experiencing, it can be a lot higher, but we want to cut through it. When you are doing intermittent fasting and you're not eating in the morning, this is increasing cortisol further. What is cortisol famously known for? Putting fat on the belly, that menopause belly, right? So instead, there's a really simple way around it. What you want to do to cut through that cortisol first thing in the morning, you got to balance your blood sugar. How do you do that? Boom, 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking. Takes care of that. Number 4, okay, guys, if you paid attention to any of them, this is one of the biggest ones that I see repeatedly with women and why they cannot lose weight to save their life, and they cannot figure out why. Women say to me every day, I'm eating healthy. I can't figure out why I can't lose weight. I eat healthy. I believe you. But here's what a lot of women are doing. So please pay attention to this one and tell me if you see yourself in this one. What women are doing is, because we've been trained over the years because of the diet industry that we need to just eat less, eat less, eat less. So as women, we're eating less at our meals. But then what's happening is we're not satisfied. And so a lot of women are grazing through the day on foods, but guess what? They're healthy foods, right? They're nuts, they're fruits, they're granola, they are protein bars, which actually most protein bars are just candy bars with some processed protein in them. And so let me know if you see yourself in this, and you don't even have to admit it to me, but just admit it to yourself, because it's a biggie. A lot of women will be grazing all day and they don't realize it. And so they think to themselves, well, number 1, the food I'm eating is healthy. And number 2, it's not a lot of calories because I'm only having a little handful of nuts here, a handful of this here, a handful of this here. Well, number 1, those handfuls add up from a calorie standpoint, but we're not talking about calories today. I actually am not a fan of the calorie model in general. What we are talking about is fat storage and fat loss. And every single time that you throw a couple of handfuls, a little handful of nuts or something in your mouth, that is giving you a blood sugar response, which is giving you an insulin response to combat the blood sugar. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. So every time you're grazing and just picking at foods through the day, even though they might be little bits at a time, you are literally promoting fat storage in your body. So pay attention to that one, because that is derailing a lot of women, a lot. The solution, eat enough at your meals. When you eat enough at your meals, enough proteins, fiber, healthy fats, that's going to keep you satiated to get to your next meal. So you're not having the need to snack. And it's also squashing cravings. So you're not having those afternoon cravings or the evening cravings, right? And so for us women who have been dieting for years, you've got to wrap your head around that a little bit too, because we're always taught to eat less and we're scared to eat. And I don't mean like, obviously don't be stuffing your face with fast food. But what I'm saying is eat enough at your meals that you are satiated until your next meal. Because that eating healthy, but picking at little things all day long, grazing, that could be the very thing that's derailing you. I see it all the time. And I'm even going to give you a bonus one today, because here's another one I see all the time. And tell me if you see yourself in this one too. I'm telling you, a lot of this is just psychological with women. And I love you all, but People need to be made aware and just become mindful. You can't change something if you're not mindful that you're doing it. And a lot of women are not. You really think you're doing the right thing. But these are some of the most common ones. So the bonus one today, the healthy habit you're doing that is derailing your fat loss, because eating healthy and eating for fat loss are not the same thing in perimenopause and menopause, is switching from one thing to the next and the next quick fix, one after the next, in order to, it's working against you. So number one, a quick fix is never a long-term solution. It's a quick fix for a reason. So do you want to be really at this age stuck in the cycle of dieting and going from this shiny object to this shiny object, or do you just want results already, right? So I see it constantly, and we know there's some new buzzwords on the market. I'm not going to say them, but that's what everyone's doing now. And as soon as everyone's off of that because they realize there's too many side effects and there's rebounds, then there'll be something else. Like there always is, right? There's like, there's the keto, and then you have this, injection for this. It's just, there's always something. They're quick fixes for a reason. You're going to rebound. So the solution is find what actually works. And it's the stuff I'm telling you here today. And you need to do it consistently enough to see results. Now, the thing is, a lot of us have dieted ourselves into a mess over the years, and our hormones have changed, which means we need a different strategy. And the different strategy is a good one, so that's the good news. But we keep switching back and forth to all these things and not sticking with something long enough, and we're just creating more damage and more harm, and then it's harder to lose weight when you go to do it the right way. So it does take, or it can, depends on the woman, it can take a little bit longer to get results when you do it the right way. But a lot of women won't stay consistent enough to see that because we're impatient by nature, right? But when you are confident that you're doing the right things and you stick with it long enough to see the results, when those results happen, they will stay off. Those are long-term results. And I actually think I forgot another one here today, which you probably see yourself in this one too, is avoiding carbs. Women are always going keto. I'm going to avoid carbs. It worked for me in the past. That means it'll work for me again. Respectfully, it didn't work for you in the past, because if it worked, it means you would only have to do it one time. You'd have your results, and your results would stay for life. It did not work. Getting rid of carbs is a quick fix. The solution, because we need them. We need fiber. Fiber is carbs. We need fiber more than ever as women in peri and menopause. At least 30 grams a day, hardly anybody is getting it. Start tracking your fiber. And fiber comes from carbs. So when you're eliminating carbs, you're eliminating fiber. You're not getting that fiber to feed your healthy gut bacteria, which is related to your hormonal system, right? Anyway, I don't mean to get too technical today, but you get the point. So I'm going to run by them real quick again. And don't forget, if you want the free guide of the 3 top things to do that I start each of my clients on, comment guide, and I will give that to you. 5 healthy habits that are making your weight loss harder as a woman 45 plus. Healthy eating is not the same as eating for fat loss, especially as a perimenopausal and menopausal woman. Number 1, eating just plain fruit smoothies. You need protein and healthy fats to slow down the spike. Too much cardio. Too much cardio is stressing out your body. Your body's already stressed out, and it's just increasing your appetite. No bueno. Number 3, intermittent fasting. As a woman at this age, our cortisol is much higher in the morning. We want to cut through it. Skipping breakfast is making it even higher. Higher cortisol equals menopause belly. You want to cut through it by balancing your blood sugar, 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking. Snacking on healthy foods constantly. Every time you are picking at food and grazing through the day, even if it's technically a healthy food, your body is having a blood sugar response and then an insulin response. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. So when you're grazing through the day, you are literally giving your body the signal to store fat. Wild. Nobody I know, no woman I know wants that signal. Avoiding carbs. We need carbs. Carbs have fiber. Carbs give us energy. Carbs help our moods. Carbs help us sleep. We need carbs. And the bonus, of course, is flipping from one thing to the next really quickly. I see it all the time. Women get impatient. You want your results right away. We're not 30 years old anymore. We are 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s over here. And so we need to treat our body properly by nourishing it and giving what it needs. Don't be skipping from these quick fixes, because you're going to be stuck in the cycle for another 5-10 years. Find what works. Obviously, get my guide. It's the first 3 steps. If you want to go further and you want to see if you qualify to work one-on-one with me, you can send me the word thrive, send it to me in a DM, or you can check out my bio. I have information there. That's a lot deeper, obviously, but that will get you results. But if you want the free guide to get you started with first 3 things that I do with every single client, just comment guide and I'll be very happy to send it to you. If any of these resonated, comment below. And actually, if you want me to do a part 2, I will, because there is more. And I know it's confusing and frustrating when you think you're doing everything right, but it's not right for fat loss at this age. Anyway, I hope that helps you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.